What's going on, y'all? This is a quick message for those who are on toxic jobs, toxic atmospheres. And I want to remind you to not be afraid to stand up for yourself. In the workplace, there are oftentimes situations where you might find yourself in a situation where a manager, a boss, or somebody might abuse their power. They run a toxic shop where things are run on fear. They let you know that you can easily be fired. Um, they push things a little more than the way they should be pushed. Sometimes it's harassment. Sometimes it's just being negative. Sometimes it's micromanaging. Sometimes it's just acting in a bullying type of a way where everything is constantly criticism, and it's just a toxic environment that tears you down. Constant criticism, you can never do anything right. Those types of situations, those are toxic situations. And you stay because you feel like you really need the job, you really need the money, you got to pay your bills, you got responsibilities, so you stay in it. But I want to remind you of something. It's not worth it. Don't put up with somebody or an environment that is constantly tearing you down. Don't do it. You might feel like it's a risk to stand up for yourself, but by all means, do it. Stand up for yourself. Demand to be treated decently and with proper respect. This is a must. And you might be worried because you're thinking it's a risk to stand up for yourself. You don't want to ruffle feathers. You don't want to rock the boat too much. You want to go along and get along, because you're trying to hold on to your job. But I want to let you know that it's an even greater risk to stay and keep putting up with it. Because no matter what you do, you're not going to change a toxic environment by just doing nothing. If you can be as nice as you want to, but if you're reporting or answering to a bad person, to a toxic person, to a bullying person, to an overly critically micromanaging person, no matter how nice you are and how much effort you put forward to appease them, when they see that they have you under their thumb, that they can get you to act this way and do this and that, people like that don't change. A person in power who is ruling in power based off of fear doesn't suddenly get this change of heart to say, okay, you know what, they've been really working hard. I know I pushed them, and I know I'm extra harsh on them, so let me change. No, they tend to stick with it. And by all means, I'm not talking about somebody who has proven themselves to you. People who have proven that they really are there for you, they really want the best for you, and they're trying to bring out the best in you. I'm not talking about those type of people. Those type of people who have proven themselves might just simply be giving you constructive criticism. They might just simply be giving you support to try to help you grow because they see a weakness. And in those cases, you can't be too sensitive. You can't have too much pride. You have to be open to constructive criticism. Keyword is constructive, the type that builds you up, the type of challenge that helps you to grow. There's nothing wrong with that, and you don't need to be so or too sensitive to the point where people giving you constructive criticism becomes so offensive. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the situations where people truly are proving themselves as toxic, where they show signs of things like jealousy. They show signs of fear that if they don't make you look bad, then it's going to let their own flaws be seen. Because sometimes you might have a situation where they keep putting all of this negative pressure on you to make themselves look better. That's the type of pressure that I'm talking about. That's the type of negative situation I'm talking about. And they treat you in an indecent way. They speak to you with disrespect, with attitudes, and with constant belittling, that type of thing. And you must put a stop to it because they're not going to stop that on their own. And you have to be your own advocate and stand up for yourself in those types of situations. And you might say, well, it's too risky. I just got to get along because and lay low because the risk will be me getting fired. But I'm going to tell you something. It's riskier to stay because you can put in all that time, take all of that abuse, you can take all of that belittling, gain all that stress, high blood pressure, and everything else, and they still come around and fire you, do a layoff, let you go, or whatever the case in the end. And now it was all for nothing. All that time lost all that health loss, because your mental health is very important. And now your mental health has been damaged, your confidence has been ruined, all just because you were trying to hold on. The risk of staying in a toxic job, in a toxic environment, is greater than just standing up for yourself and losing it. Because at least if you stand up for yourself, you regain your strength, you regain your dignity, and you stop it before it has enough time to tear you down more and more and more. And if you stay, however, trying to just get by, trying to just get along, then it just continues to tear down your mental health. It just continues to weaken you, to make you doubt yourself, to make you lose confidence in your skill set, only to eventually still be tossed out like yesterday's garbage once it's all said and done. So be strong, stand up for yourself. It's worth it. The risk of staying in a toxic and abusive environment is much worse than the risk of losing it for standing up for yourself. Be strong. Don't be afraid. Don't worry about it. You will bounce back. You will recover. Do what you need to do.